skills would brighten your day. Tech training, oh, let's get it on. Every Thursday we'll be learning till dawn. Join the fun, don't miss out. Tech skills growing, that's what it's about.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining our session today. Today we have Debora Moreno with us. She is a teacher and CIT at Marcia Garza Elementary. She's going to go over the exit tickets with Nearpod and tell us a little bit about how she uses that with her students. So Debora, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, welcome to my presentation, Exit Tickets with Nearpod by, of course, me, Debora Moreno. So my name is Debora Moreno. I'm a second grade teacher and a CIT at Marcia Garza Elementary. I have 20 years experience of teaching. I have two beautiful girls. One's 22, the other one's 17, and my dad used to have a Tejano band back in the 80s. So I want to focus on three key points, okay? So the first one is, what is Nearpod? The second one is the key features of Nearpod. And the third one is, of course, what I'm presenting, the collaborative board. So what is Nearpod? I know when we had COVID, you know, we were using it and it was like, you know, it's an amazing platform. It is a digital teaching platform that allows educators to create interactive lessons with real-time student engagement and assessment. So why use Nearpod? First, it boosts engagement with interactive content. It enhances student learning with multimedia, and it provides instant data to guide students. Now, something that I do want to say is that not only does Nearpod like helps the kids, because you know that kids are techie, right? Kids, I mean, you can give them something and they go off with it. I like the different features that it has. And over the years, they have been upgrading it. So the features are getting even better. So I'm just going to focus on the collaborative board right now. But these are the features that Nearpod has to offer. So I'm kind of selling it to you, okay? The interactive lessons that comes with Nearpod are the collaborative boards. It has quizzes. It has polls. It has drag and drop, videos, matching pairs, and draw it. Time to climb is another one that the kids like to use. So all these interactive lessons, you can go in and you can manipulate. Some of them are already done for you. And what I like about them is that the ones that are made for you, you can always save them and then you can tweak it the way you want them to be tweaked. Okay. So again, Nearpod has a lot of amazing features that the kids can use and you can use as a teacher. It gives you real-time feedback and it has assessments. And what's good about it is you can actually integrate it with Google Classroom and assign it. It also includes the VR field trips and 3D content. So I'm actually excited to show you how the kids use it in my classroom. So how do we connect to Nearpod? We go through Clever. And once you're in Clever, you go to your PSJA, you click on Student and Teacher Administrator. Once you're there, you click on the collaborative board. So I'm going to walk you through the steps right now. So let me just exit from here. Okay, so this is already Nearpod. This is what you're going to see. So I don't know if you noticed here on top, I have already all my folders according, you know, to the subjects. So right now I'm going to focus on the reading because today we kind of did a lot of exit tickets because tomorrow is assessment. So I just wanted to get more or less to see if the kids really understood, like a little exit ticket, just, you know, to kind of do a quick assessment. So I'm going to go over the reading one. So this is one that the kids did today. This was reading. For reading, we were reading an article, an informational article, a Newsella article. So the kids actually got to go in there and I posed a question how do you know this article is informational text? So the students had to answer on column 1. And then on column 2, I had another question, which the question was, why did the author include this photograph? Okay. And on the side right here, I have the photograph. Just, they can click on it and they can see the details on it. And the students' response were amazing, and what I like to do is, I know that I'm really like into, the kids need to write as well. So first I have them write it in their journal and then they can type it. Because when I'm walking around reading their responses, I can tell them, hey, you know what, you need a period, you need a capital, you need more, you have a misspelled word here. That way, when they type it, they don't have as much misspelled words, So here are some samples that the kids type. The article's informational text because it has pictures. That's one. It is informational text because it has a photograph. This article is an informational text because it has different text features like section titles. So this is already the kids kind of like giving their responses, both written and typed. So that's something that I really, really like. Now, I know that the first time that I used Nearpod with this group, they wanted to press the buttons, and it's okay for them to press the buttons, because if you remember, like us, even me as an adult, when I see something, I just want to press it. Like, what does this do? What does this do? Because that's the only way we're going to learn. So for the kids to type, you have these little options on the bottom right here. You have your shared thoughts. This is where the students type. How do you know it's informational? You can type this article, is informational because, and also you can have them do the ECR like in a complete sentence, because it has captions. Okay. Now, what's really good about this is that you can include an actual audio. Once you type it, you can include an audio. You can include right there. That's the recording. You can, I'll give you an example right now because we did do one with audio. You can include it depending on what you want the kids to respond. It's up to you the way you want to maneuver it. Okay. So these are some options that the kids can answer with. And on the right side, you do have like column 1, column 2. You can do it by columns, or you can do it just one question, and you can just have like just the board by itself. So how do we do that? So here on the right side, you have participants. Here you have all the students, and here you have options to turn off whatever you want, like hand raising, if you want them to react to the responses, or you can always go over here and you can select if you like want the student's name to be seen, you can turn it off or you can turn it on. If you want the students to edit, I always have this one on only because if they have a spelling mistake or, and I mean, I have 22 kids, so I try my best to go around, and some of the kids tell each other like, hey, you misspelled this word, and they help each other, right? So approve students post, you can have it on or on, like if you want to review it before you post it. Approve students comment. I usually have it off because I don't like when the kids start commenting or putting happy faces or likes, because they get really, really excited on that. So this is the way I used it for reading. Okay, so and the kids love it. On the column 2, they actually wrote like the reason why the author included the photograph was to show us the new NASA woman logo. So and she even included the actual picture. She went in there, she found it. She found the actual image, which she came here and she Googled the images and she inserted. So for example, if I were to put NASA Lego women, I can just click on the image, save it, and then I just put it on column 2 because that was the one where it was. and it goes to column 2, and it should be there on the bottom. So these are all the students. Okay, so that's how I did it for reading. Now, for math was a little bit interesting, because for math, you know how Eureka has an exit ticket. So I know the kids, they do the exit ticket and they're like, Miss, what do we do now? So you can also have an easy exit ticket. To this week, we're talking about arrays. So just a simple, what is an array? So let me go in there. Okay, so these are some of the responses. I gave them an index card, and they had to write explaining what an array was. And then some of the kids went in and they put images of arrays. So they had the crayon, they have the Coke, they had the Sprite. I do keep the lesson, because if they didn't get to do it today, then they can always go back and do it tomorrow. So the kids were super excited. They were like, oh, Miss, you know, this is, we like doing Nearpod. Because I know sometimes we get like, we're, how can I say this? We want the kids writing, because I want the kids to be writing, and I want the kids to be typing at the same time, because I want them to be ready for 3rd grade, because I know they have to do that STAR test and they have to type. So I want to get them exposed, because I want them to write it, and then I want them to type it. Because a lot of kids want to just type it. I'm like, no, it has to be both, because you have to practice your penmanship, because we can't let go of that penmanship, right? All right, so that is the one that I used for the math. The spelling is the one that the kids enjoy a lot, and I do assign homework for them. I use Nearpod I use all the different features, because the kids love it. So I'm going to show you the one for spelling, because that one actually has voice recording. So just let me know if you can hear the voices, okay? All right. So this was their spelling. So this week we're focusing on the gentle C, the soft G, and the soft C. So they have to choose 3 of their three of their favorite words. And then as an exit ticket, they had to, of course, write their sentence in the spelling journal. And then they had to type it. And then they had to add an image. Now, some of the students were like, Miss, can we read our sentence? I'm like, yeah. So they got to click on the little, I went blank, on the little mic. There you go. On the little mic, and they recorded themselves. So of course, you model. Do you have 1 cent? This was me. Do you have 1 cent I can borrow? And then I recorded a response. The same one. Do you have 1 cent I can borrow? Did y'all hear that?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So now this also can be, I know that Telpas, right? Telpas also uses that the listening and the speaking. So this is pretty good for Telpas too, because they're writing their sentence, and they can actually hear themselves recording. So it works both ways. So I'm like, the kids were like, Miss, we like because I hadn't really given them a chance to do the mic until like about a few weeks ago. They're like, Miss, can we use the mic now? I'm like, okay, since you've been writing in your journal and typing and adding the image, because you can't just have them like all use it at the same time. It has to be like baby steps. You have to introduce, the typing first, and then you got to do the images, and then then you have to introduce the little mic, because if you just tell them, they're just gonna want to click images, because that's happened to me the first time that I used which is good, because the kids are curious and they're really techie, so they're really they love it in my class. They love using the Nearpod a lot. So let me give you another example of a student. Look, this is a giant ice cream. He typed a sentence. This is a student recording his sentence.
How much cents does that toy cost?
How much cents does the toy cost? And I believe his picture was here because I saw it.
I stood by the edge and almost fell.
Now for her, she put her image on this side. So tomorrow, because I do go back and I tell them, you can always go back and delete it. So if you are typing something, so I'm gonna go back to mine so you can see. So whenever you're here on Nearpod and if you have to edit something, you go to the 3 little dots and you can edit there and it brings you back to the original sentence that you had. So, and then you can always delete your image. You can change it to the other column. Like if you want to change it to the next column. So the kids don't have to like delete like the whole post. Now, if you do see some of it are deleted, it's because some of the kids were like, Miss, I put it in the wrong column. But by the time I got to them, they were like, Miss, I already deleted. I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. But no, they're learning. I mean, the Nearpod, it has a lot of features, like I said. But the one that I'm focusing on for today is, of course, the collaborative one. So the collaborative board. There's other things that Nearpod has and other features. I am willing to kind of give another presentation to kind of go over those. And any questions?
It doesn't look like we have any questions. Oh,
No questions?
maybe we might have one coming up from Miss Nessa.
Okay.
I love what you showed, Deb, the examples and how the kids are using it.
Mhm.
It really helps them get engaged, and I like how you had them speak and find the picture and they do the writing.
Yes, I try. I mean, the kids always want to type it, and I'm like, boys and girls, you have to put your thoughts first on paper. You can't just want to write. You got to think about what you're writing, because a good writer always, processes the thoughts. You write it
Mhm.
down on paper. You see if you have your capital letters, your punctuations, and of course, they kind of. And what I like about Nearpod is, yes, they get excited, they type it, but at the same time, that's when I walk in, I'm walking around and I can see it in real time and say, hey, you know what? Go back to column 1, look at your sentence. You have it here on your paper, but look, you forgot to put a capital letter or you forgot to put your punctuation mark. So they go back in there and then they edit it. So they're like, oh, miss, I did it on paper. I'm like, yes, but remember on the STAR test, you're going to have to do it on both. So you got to be like, you have to revise and edit at the same time. You can't just be typing and I'm done. So.
And that's perfect. Like that's,
Mm.
I'm glad you gave that example because they need to practice that typing and that,
And the writing.
transferring it from the paper to the typing.
Yeah.
So perfect.
Yeah, and this little girl was like, Miss, because she's kind of like a little bit shy, but she kind of, she recorded herself.
I put a lot of ice in my water.
Yeah,
I put a lot of ice
It
in my
helps with their
water.
speaking.
Mhm.
So like you said, for Telpus, like it
Telpus,
helps for
yeah,
that too.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we have the resources, right? But I mean, it's fun. I love it. I love using technology. The kids are very techy. They pick up. At the beginning, when first was introduced to Nearpod, I was like, but no, the kids love it, especially like if they're inserting images and doing all that fun stuff. So other than that, any questions? I know there was a question.
Perfect. No, Miss Mesa just said it would, she even can see the use for her pre-K students, with the recording option.
Oh,
So
yes.
definitely
Yes.
perfect.
Yes. So I don't know if we finished early or not, but
We did,
I
and
mean,
that's okay. But
I can show some other things. I mean, but this was like,
yeah, we're good. Well, we have some time for our door prizes, so
oh, okay.
yeah, it's great. I don't think there's any other questions, but thank you so much for joining us today. Stick around for door prizes.
Okay.
And
Before
go ahead.
I wanted to share this photograph because it kind of reminded me of me. It says sometimes it only takes one image to tell the story. We have someone on the sand walking up. It kind of reminds me of me when I kind of like see technology. It's like it's a challenge and it takes a while, especially when you're walking in the sand. but once you're there, like you'll get it, but you just have to, get on it. You got to push yourself and try those, platforms and have the kids try them, because we're going to a new digital, everything's digital now. So that's why I put that image there. I mean, the image tells a story.
I like that. And I like what you said, because it's not always easy. And you saw, when you first saw Nearpod, you thought, oh, that's going to be hard for the kids and stuff. But
Yeah.
you've seen how they do it, it attracts them and they're interested and they're able to do it. So I like that you're using those tools and plunging forward and
Yes.
giving it a try.
Yeah, and you can use it for science. You can use it for, I mean, the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Stick around for door prizes.